Let's crack into it. So good to have you all. So good to see your faces too. I don't often get to do that because it's mostly like me and a chart and a whole lot of names and a chat. But love it. So cool to see you guys' faces. Tonight's gonna be a lot of fun, really. So what a week. Wow, guys. First off, I want to say a huge welcome to our newest team members that joined us this week. So we have got, gosh, what a week. We've got Brennan. This is an awesome story. He's been in the chat in the background for a little while because someone added him before he officially joined and kind of like was like, how did I get here? But joined officially today. So Brennan, so stoked to have you in here, bro, and diving into it with us. Who else have we got? Man, it's been a week. Jacob as well. I don't see you on here this evening. I think you're at Life Group. Mike, Mandy, Josh, and David, you guys in Tauranga. Awesome to have you in here. And odds are I might be forgetting someone else, but I know that in the last few days you guys have dived in with us. So pumped, guys. Just been having so many good conversations with Michael Jacobsen and also Richard Ooster about what's coming up for us. So mapping out our next bootcamp. We'll drop some dates soon, but we're looking at starting it on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night on, I believe it's going to be 6th, 7th, 8th of November. And not this one weekend coming, but the next one. And just mapping that out for us. So that's going to be perfect for those of you who are brand new and also perfect for anyone thinking about it. So we're going to pump it pretty heavy in the Facebook group, take people through the whole conversation of what it looks like to have no clue about trading and maybe even not much about investing, but then start to have that conversation about the cash flow quadrant, multiple streams of income, what investing looks like, how trading sets us up for that, compound interest, going through the charts, the basics of charting, actually walking people through demo trading, and then also bringing in possibly Jay Bonham again to do another kill shot demo for us. So really exciting stuff in the pipeline for us, guys. We've been having a blast with kill shot in the mornings with dynamic edge side by side. So this morning was good. Had almost a dozen, I think, on with me this morning from 5 a.m., which was great. We waited, we were patient, and the trend was up. We took a counter trade and sell opportunity for at least 30 pips for some of us, which was great. And then logged off, had breakfast, and the thing just kept going. So we'll probably get to the charts later on. If I don't, I know Michael probably will. So he's probably watching it right now, as half of you probably are as well. But we'll get to that. First things first, I want to, before I ramble too much, dive in and do a real quick orientation, just a quick little click through of all the little things of where everything is inside the Academy. So everyone knows where everything is for those who are new. So I'm going to screen share super quick my screen. Let me just get the right one so you don't see all the random Zoom settings I have. Let's go for that one, Google Chrome. All right, guys. So drop a 1 in the chat if you can see that. You should be able to see just the main page of I Am Mastery. There you go. Thanks, Drew. There's some ones. So guys, this is IM.Academy. This is your main page that you log into when you're brand new. This is AKA your back office. This is where you're going to log in and find all your details and change things and adjust things. If you're a customer, this left blue menu might be a little shorter. You might have a few less things in here. Because I'm an IBO, I've got a few extras. So basically for me, the only difference I know of, for instance, is I've got things like a placement tree and my websites. That's where your referral link would be. Yours might be called My Referrals if you're looking for it. So it's in there. Otherwise, guys, you can click on things like personal info. That's where you can adjust things like your email address and your subscription and whatever package you currently have, things like that. And then from there, you're going to click IM Center. That is going to take you straight to the main guts of everything that we start with. So I'm going to log in here because this thing asks you to log in every single time. Maybe it's just me, but at least on that page. So IM Center, guys, is pillar number 1 when it comes to everything with the Academy. This is where we find all our pre-recorded content that we start with on this journey. So I know we've got a mix of guys that are currently either starting out with DCX and or FRX for Forex, but it's pretty much the same thing for the pathway of study. So in the menu bar here, you've got the homepage, then you've got Academy. So you're going to click Academies. Excuse me. Pillar number 2 is going to be Go Live, which we'll show you next. And pillar number 3 is all the strategies like the apps and the scanners. So starting off with Academies, if you click in there, you're going to see whatever you've signed up for basically. Because I have an elite pack, I've kind of got a little bit of everything going on in here. So all the Forex ones in English, and then you might have, if you're in DCX with crypto, you're gonna have the Welcome series, then you're gonna have the Exchange series, which you're gonna go through portfolio building, buying, selling, swapping crypto, leverage, which is gonna show you all things how to trade leverage, which is basically like Forex style of trading in crypto. So you got that there. Then if you were to click into one of them, like Forex English, That's going to basically take you to the overview of what's there. There's a little course PDF, but if you click on the first video, Forex 101, what is Forex? That's, you know, a 4-minute video. When it loads, it's going to show me eventually. My internet's not the greatest at the moment. It's doing okay. Hopefully my voice is not clipping. That would be amazing. And that video is going to load. I'll pause it once it starts. But yeah, basically, guys, that's where you get started. Forex 101. What is Forex? There we go, 4 minutes long. And then down here, it's just going to go 102, 103, 104, all the way through the basics. It's going to skip a few random numbers here and there, like 112, then to 115. The gaps in the middle might belong to another academy, but that goes all the way down to FRX 450, which is, you know, auction market theory, risk management, all good stuff. If you do not complete the 400 series anytime soon, at least please watch the risk management planning class, risk management. Okay, so that's the academies, guys. That's where you're going to start. You're going to smash through those videos. Then going back to IM Center, when it lets me, let's get back in there, library, there we go. So pillar number 1, all the academies in there, pre-recorded stuff, that's where we start. Pillar number 2 is go live. This is the heartbeat of the academy with all of the live education for all of the different platforms. So in here, first time you load it, it's going to show like the top 5 most recent, like highest viewed educators of the week. You're going to roll down and see some promotional stuff. Obviously, we've got all the different academies loading in here: Forex, DCX, TBX, e-commerce, stocks and futures, and Mindset Academy over here. So for those of you guys in DCX, you'd click in there and you're going to see, and this is what I love to just specify, because DCX, you can get, you know, you're going to get so many different educators teaching so many different aspects of crypto. But to start with, there's everyone, when you're brand new, the first thing you're going to watch, whether you're Forex or crypto, is Christopher Derrick showing the student onboarding. So from there, he's live every day at either 5 a.m. or 1 p.m. and they're recorded. So if you miss one, just jump on a recorded one and he's going to walk you through a more in-depth version of what I'm doing right now. But after that, if you're in crypto, you're going to come in here and look at, where's Corinne? So Corinne is a great place to start if you're doing crypto and you want to learn. She's got brilliant videos on the basics and just explains things really well. So if you click on anyone's face, it's going to load their channel and you're going to see recent sessions down below. But if you click the favorite sessions, that's going to load the ones that you want to start on, most likely to begin with. So how to use CTrader, that's new. Check that out, Michael. You'll love that. There we go. As an alternative to MT4, MT5. Very cool. Brand new, that's cool. And then a lot of other stuff, leverage trading, you know, how to get into portfolio building, just a lot of cool basic stuff, like how to choose a broker, stable coins. This is a great place to go and basically replace Netflix with. So Corinne is brilliant. She's Australian. And then my top educator has always been Curtis Cobain. So he is down here. Absolute weapon. And then him and Mike Sotero. Mike's got his own thing here as well that he does DeFi, decentralized finance. And then him and Mike have got a joint channel, sorry, him and Curtis. And that joint channel, if you're going to watch anything, just watch that joint channel. Watch those 2 every week and you'll have an incredible journey through crypto. Okay, so that's DCX Go Live. I'll try and move fast. Going back to the heart of Go Live here, where we've got those options. If you roll further down, guys, you're going to see just some promo stuff like TLX Tuesday. Anyone can come in here and watch this. So guys, if you're wondering about TLX, Wes goes in there and does like a 30-minute presentation of what's going on in the world with that and what deals they have, how you can access that pricing, like 60% off, 800,000 resorts and hotels, all that jazz. So I watched that one the other night with Jess. That was brilliant, just to get a scope of what it all looks like and what they got on the go right now. There's a whole lot of Bob Proctor in the MMX Academy with Alex Morton, and Greg and Mel, I believe, are launching into MMX too, which is going to be great. They're really packing that out now as well. And then there's chairman mentorship calls in here and other, unique ones that we can come in and jump in for more mentorship and mindset stuff. So Forex, for those of us in Forex, most of us have been tuned into James Leone with Dynamic Edge. So I'll show you where his channel is and what we've been doing there. For those of you that are, once you've done, all the 100, 200 series at least on the Academy side of things, you can come in here, see Christopher Derrick again, same thing. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. James is number 8. There he is. So he's live for us in New Zealand, 6 a.m. on Wednesdays and Thursday nights at 10, and then Friday mornings again at 6. Again, click on the face. It's going to load the channel. And then from there, you're going to see the most recent session pop up here to click on it. If he's live when you click on it, you'll actually be able to click play on his face over here. And then down below, recent ones, if you missed them, favorite sessions over here. 27-minute bootcamp, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lessons that describe his strategy in high detail. And you can forget about these 2 little walkthrough ones that he did in the beginning. So guys, that is go live. I'm going to get out of that, go back to pillar number 1. So that was pillar number 2 being go live. Again, pillar number 1, academies. Pillar number 3, strategies. So if I click this, you can create shortcuts for these things. So I've got shortcuts for go live and all sorts, but the first time around, finding a strategy or a scanner, depending on what you're subscribing to, if you're in DCX, you're going to have access to the swipe coin scalper, the harmonic scanner, and my swipe coin is the desktop version of the app that we have. And if you're in Forex, you're going to have not all of these, again, because I've got an elite pack. Pivots is the one that most of us are running with. Some of the free ones will be Impulse and Harmonics. And if you've got a pro pack, you're going to have a bunch of these. But pivots, you click on pivots over here, that's going to load the pivot scanner. So pivots.im. So that takes us to the actual scanner. And again, you've got all the options down the left-hand side. So this is once you are actually obviously trading and messing around, learning the strategy, not probably in your first few days. But once you're in here, you're going to come up and click the chart icon in the top corner next to the US flag, drop down menu. We're going to come here and click on strategy 1 and roll down to dynamic edge. And if you don't have it yet, once you've added pivots, I believe then you should be able to add dynamic edge for like $10 more. And then in here, we're going to load the dynamic edge scanner. So this as well, guys, this is TradingView built into the Academy's website. So if you're familiar with TradingView, it's exactly the same here and there. A few less things, like you can't obviously edit some of the aspects of the chart because it's a strategy that's been put together. So zooming out, that's a 1 minute just to make this a bit cleaner for now. Just showing you what's what with the strategy in the scanner. So we have signals, buy arrows, sell arrows or triangles, and a few different colored spaghetti lines on the chart. You'll learn about them when you're in the strategy. That's all I'll say for now. I won't get into more detail, but we have a chart up here and we have a MACD down here, which is our main indicator on the strategy. So if you click again next to the flag, you can come in here and select a different Forex pair or metals, or you can come in here and select oils. Like these are just different, obviously, things to look at on the charts. Indices is where most of us go, and we come down and we land on the US 100, which is the NAS or the NAS 100. It's just the top 100 tech stocks inside of the NASDAQ fund. So once you've clicked that, you can get rid of that menu. And now we're looking at the NAS. And so underneath pivots up here, if you click on this, oops, no, not doing that, on where it says Oanda, that is the broker feed that is giving us this price action. So Oanda is a broker and these exact prices are coming from Oanda. So what you're going to notice, guys, down the road is when you set up an account with a broker, they will have some price action that may differ slightly from this. It could be a pip, like a $1 difference. It could be 10, it could be 50. And you can come in here and adjust this sometimes. So if you double click on this, the default's Oanda, but if you select all of it and hit backspace, you can come in here and punch in US 100 and you might be able to find maybe just a couple other brokers, but they'll be potentially closer to your chart. Look at that. We've got higher highs, lower highs, and price going down. Anyway, so we've got Oanda and we've got Oanda under US 100. Okay, there used to be another one. Wonder if we've got any other trade stuff anymore in here. Maybe. Yeah, we do. Okay, so there's probably another way to find that. But as well, another little hack for you guys, if you type in BTC in here, you can load a Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin USD Binance, what do you know? Okay, let's have a look at that. So now I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin. It didn't give us a crypto option in that menu on the right, but you can come and search for it here. So there's a daily chart of Bitcoin. So this is what I love to do. Go and look back at November, right? What happened in November? Well, we had not just a double top, we had higher highs, lower highs, divergence, crossed the line, signal on a daily time frame at 62,000, and then price went down. And anyway, so you can come in here and on the weekends when the Forex pairs are not running, you can jump in there and utilize it on crypto. Probably wouldn't go too much lower than a 5 minute, but there we go, signals, etc. So that's that for the scanners. I'm going to get rid of that. And that was a real light onboard and overview for some of you guys. Most of you already know all of that. Another little hack, guys, you can save your chart. So if I go in here and click this, I can load a chart that I've already marked up. So I will load my most recent one from this morning that I had running and saved. And then you can see that. And then it's a little messy at first. We'll get there. It loads the 1 hour for some reason. Let's go down to the 3. just different things I've marked up, and maybe I actually didn't save it after this morning, so it's just going to be right where I left it the day before. But anyway, you can come in here and add things and edit things, and then basically hit save, the little cloud, and label it. So when you come back, your markups are still on this chart. So that's that, guys. I'm going to unshare my screen, and I got 5 minutes worth of other stuff that I want to share with you guys. So let me get that out the way, so I can actually see what's going on and do that. But yeah, and then Mike's going to jump on real soon, and he's got some gold for us as always. But before that, guys, I was so I had the privilege of preaching on Sunday, and just had a word that, long story short, at the end of December last year, I felt this huge thing deep in me about, as we're stepping into a season this year of alignment, which is going to cause us to accelerate. And the nutshell version of that is, you think about a car getting aligned. It's 1 degree off, same as drawing a train line. If your train line is 1 degree off, it's probably not going to be in the right place later on. But just felt like there was a season that we're going through where we're just finding our lane or finding our people and making some adjustments. And when I was in Taupo with Michael Jacobsen, all the guys down there for our first event with Rich, absolute lucked out, hit a hole in one in the lake challenge, thought it was a scam, but the ball went in, and I won a fishing trip. So, but as soon as that ball dropped, I just felt God say in my spirit that things are starting to land right where they're meant to be. And I just want to speak that over all of you guys. Like, depending on what your year's been like, what your season's been like, I just really believe that things are going to start landing where they're meant to be, and things are going to start clicking. And there's some practical things that we can do to actually really accelerate from that place of alignment. So some of the key things I talked about on Sunday were just the importance of vision. And a lot of you guys have obviously heard myself and others in the academy talk about this, but if you don't have a vision and a plan for your life, someone else will. Long story short, like, if you don't know what you want to do with your time, someone else will fill it up for you. And just want to encourage you guys, like, we've talked about this before, but especially if you're new, like, just taking the time to seriously, journal and write down, like, discover who you are and who God's called you to be, and what your passions are, what your dreams are, and where you want to see yourself 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now. And then start to really get clear on who that person is that you're becoming. What kind of value system does that person have? What kind of character does that person have? What kind of skill sets does that person require to be living in that state of leadership or influence, or whatever lane you feel called to, whatever people group you feel called to influence and lead and transform, whatever that looks like. Get clear on it, guys. Like, get really detailed. I referenced on Sunday this book that my granddad gave me 20 years ago. Changed my life completely. It's called The Fourth Dimension. That's a little blurry. There we go. This book will rock your world. It was written in 1979, and this man basically started a church in Korea, and he grew it to be the largest church in the world. So I would listen to what he has to say. It's not all about numbers, but I believe healthy things grow. So he talks in detail in that about what it looks like to get super clear on your vision and your goals. He was basically praying for things and with God, like, he had no bed, no bike, no desk, nothing. And he prayed for it, nothing happened. And 6-7 months later, he got grumpy with God and said, God, what's going on? And he basically said, well, you gave me no detail. What kind of bed do you actually want? Like, what kind of bike do you want? Do you want gears? And he just began to realize, like, wow, God actually cares about the details. And so he wrote those things down. He wrote down the kind of bike he wanted. He wanted a US made one with gears. He wanted, et cetera, et cetera. He just got detailed. And so since I was, 14, 15, my grandpa challenged me when I was buying a car for the first time, or wanted to buy a car, to get detailed. So I wrote down the color. I wanted a metallic black car. I wanted mags. I wanted a sound system. I wanted a manual. I wanted X amount of mileage on it and a price. Long story short, within about 3 or 4 months, the exact car that I wrote down those details for showed up on Trade Me in Hamilton, and I got it. It was, and I've got story after story after story of how God has shown up after I've shown up and decided to actually get clear on that, because I believe he cares about the details. So guys, apply that to your own lives, whatever that looks like, whether it be your own journey as, a son, a daughter, a husband, a wife, a grandparent, a friend, a coach, a trader, like whatever you're bringing to the table, whoever you are, get super clear on who you're becoming, the kind of person you're growing into. And then in the trading space, like, what do you want that to look like? Like, what are you actually aiming for? Like, we all know where we start, but what are you aiming for? Like, if you're aiming for a 6-7 figure account or whatever that looks like, think about that in high amount of detail, write it down. And at the same time, the thing that's really so point number 1, clear vision and clear goals. And goals with dates. Goals without dates are pipe dreams. So write down a date. And then from there, point number 2, is a burning desire. Like, if you do not have a burning desire for that goal, odds are you're going to have zero action motivating you to move forward. So, excuse me, sip of water time. So yeah, envision a clear-cut objective. And then number two, burning desire. Like if you are not in love with the finished result of that goal, odds are you're not going to be getting out of bed when your alarm goes off at whatever, 4:35 in the morning to do this thing. So real burning desire. What does it look like for you to learn the skill set? I remember someone saying so clearly once, he said, chase the skill, don't chase the money. Get really clear about this. We're learning a skill set, guys. It's the skill that's going to actually transform our financial journey. Seeing the numbers and the money, that's going to ruin you. Like that's the thing. Someone was posting in one of the leadership chats on him this week on how this is all mindset. He's been here for 2.5 years and he just posted vulnerably in this chat. He's like, guys, I am getting really good at this. Long story short, 73% win rate. His entries almost always go into profit as soon as he enters a trade. But what happens is he's closing them early. He has targets, but he constantly feels like he's got to close the trade early because he said within 60 seconds, he's looking at money that more than what he'd earned in a day previously. So he's been plugging in for 2.5 years and he's seeing these, he's looking at the money, the figure, as opposed to being aware of either the pips or the percentage growth. And it's that mindset shift of like, oh, that's a lot. And so, Jay reached out nicely and said, man, let's have a session. I'll talk you through what's been going on and etc. How you journey through that. It's mindset. And a lot of us don't realize what kind of money beliefs we have until things show up like that. But I want to encourage you, these are the kind of good problems to have, right? So getting real clear on, simply that, like the mindset and what it looks like 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now. And, there's going to be variations. Like you look at a compound plan and think, awesome, 10% a week, 52 weeks. Like, let's be real. Like there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. And if you don't obey the rules, you're probably going to have blank account and etc. So, but when you get super clear on like, man, guys, I was getting wrecked out there. Even just thinking about like across a longer time frame, 1% a day across 3 years, even on something as small as $100, it's crazy. And so just giving yourself that freedom to think like, I don't have to nail this in 6 months, and you probably won't. There's this very small amount of people that nail this in 6 months, but knowing that those that do break 6 figures, 7 figures, and even 8 figures, like there's a guy in our Canadian team that's hit 14 mil. So it happens, but it comes down to really building the mindset and the belief. And who is that person? Who is that professional trader that I'm becoming? And start to have that burning desire for whatever that looks like. Healthy body, healthy family, healthy relationships, healthy finances. Like, what does it feel like to have those burning desires actually happening? What does it feel like to drive home one day into an environment at home, step into your house, and it's full of peace, it's full of joy, and you're in it? Like, what does that feel like for you? If you can put yourself in that emotional state of that goal being achieved, you are like 90% there. Because then you've got a burning desire with an emotional connection to that moment, and then the motivation and the action is going to show up a whole lot more. So clear vision, burning desire, and he talks more in that book also about getting the insurance. Like when you're like assurance. So when you're praying for something and you believe for something, there's this journey we go on where when that thing is, you've done your bit and you've done your best, and the rest is up to God. And so that's a whole nother point. I won't go down that road right now. And then point number 4 is just speaking that out and writing it down. So knowing what it is, clear vision, burning desire, writing that thing down and speaking it out. Our words create our worlds, and they create our atmospheres. They influence our attitudes. The quickest way to adjust your state is to A, get up and move, and B, speak some different words over yourself. So I want to encourage you to get super clear on what you're aiming for here in this space, guys. And obviously not just here with trading, like get clear on what you want your family life to look like 3-5 years time from now. Like I've said it many times, like our goal as a family is financially free in a few years' time, and being able to basically take the kids around the world and give them an education of history around the world. Like we're homeschooling all 4 of our kids, but we don't just want to keep them here forever. Like we want to get out and about. So having a real clear vision on what our lives look like 3, 4, 5 years from now, maybe even 10 years from now, and then write those things down, talk about them, believe with them, like create accountability with our community and those that, have either connected you into the space. Like, heck, share your dreams and your goals with me, guys. I love being able to champion and encourage all of you guys, because this is what we're here for. Like we are here to create community that is going to redefine our movement towards our goals and desires as a community. So just want to encourage you guys with that clear vision, get that burning desire for it, and write it down and speak it out. And then if you really want to get extra points, talk about it with someone, share it with someone, whoever invited you here, or anyone in the chat, or anyone that you're close with, could be a spouse or a friend, and start to create that conversation of like, man, what would it look like when, like, et cetera, and put yourself into that space of wow, etc. So that is about that for me for now. It is 8 o'clock. Man, what a turnout, guys. I love seeing all these names in the chat. Those who jumped in while I was chatting. We also got in there Russell, you were here, Sam, Steve-O, Wayne. Oh, guys, yeah, I think Sean. Oh, good stuff, man. Mario, love you guys, man. This is fun. Okay, so that is enough waffling from me for this evening. I have got the huge privilege of introducing the most phenomenal weapon in our team, our local legend, Mr. Michael Jacobsen. For those of you who have not heard this man before and you're new, guys, this man has been trading for 20 years. He is not just a phenomenal trader, he's an incredible man, father, a husband, a great friend, outstanding character, amazing values, and it's such an honor to have him in our team, to partner with him in the space and to be able to journey with him. So guys, I know every time he comes on, he brings gold for us. So drop some love and appreciation in the chat for Mr. Michael Jacobsen. I'm going to pin you, bro, and give you the floor. Are you there? There we go. There we go. Great stuff, man. So good to have you. Thanks so much for your time this evening. I'm going to get myself out of the way and let you go for it.
Awesome, Ty. Thanks. That is very kind. Hey, I want to apologize for my voice in advance tonight, everyone. I've had COVID for the last 5 days, and unfortunately, there was no one else to referee my son's football game today, and so I had the privilege of doing that. But my voice is still a little bit rough, so I'm going to try and speak as clearly as I can, and hopefully I can share some things that are going to give you value tonight. Now, one thing I just wanted to encourage you with tonight is exactly what Ty said, and that's it doesn't have to happen as quickly as you expect it. Now, sometimes it does, but the hardest thing about trading is that it becomes boring. That sounds difficult to understand, but the hardest thing about trading is that it becomes boring. And in fact, my wife and I were talking with a couple in the States last night. They're interested in joining the academy. And I said, look, it gets boring to the point where you just want to knock out 2% a day, every day, 2%, or if it's 1%, like Ty said, 1%, and your goal is to make 1% in that small window of time that you allocate to trading, whether it's 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. And you just need to do that every day, and it gets boring. And the problem that I've had to face in the past is I feel like I want to trade more. I feel like it has to come faster. I feel like it needs to come quicker. And when I get that feeling, when I've had that feeling in the past, it's been a lot easier for me to overtrade. And what happens is I will trades, and then I'll think, look, I'm pretty sure I'm right here. This is a good setup. I'll increase my position sizing, and I've wiped out half of my previous gains. So what I've learned to do, and this is what almost every trader I've talked to has a problem of, and that's trading too much. And my goal every day, I mean, I don't know if you guys are following James Gates' system. For those who are trading dynamic edge, it's probably the best risk management system I've ever used. And you basically have to achieve a number of pips to pass through a gate to the next level. When you pass that gate, then you can increase your position sizing. However, if you lose a half of what you previously made, you move back a gate. So even if you move back 5 or 6 gates, you do not reduce the overall balance of your trading account by much. It's a great way to manage your risk. So my goal is simply 1 gate a day, which is 32 pips. If I get that 32 pips, I walk away. Now, to get that 32 pips, that causes me to focus on only taking the best possible setups, the best setups. And a member of our team actually messaged me this week and said, Michael, thanks for sharing what you did last time about entering on the 3-minute hopper, because when I'm entering off a 1-minute signal, in the previous session, there were 34 different signals, 34. And when you have 34 different signals, then you have to look at each condition that's attached to it, according to James's strategy. You have to make sure all the conditions line up. He said, but if I look at the 3-minute hopper, like you suggested, there are only 3 signals. And so what I do, if I'm trading dynamic edge, and I'm trading it every day, is I'm looking for the 3-minute hopper with the 1-minute hopper within 6 minutes. And that is an extremely high probability trade. So what that means is I only need one trade a day to get up a gate, and that's 5 gates a week. Now, what I did was I wanted to test this last week. I've been trading this for a while, but I wanted to test it a lot more strictly. And I started last week at gate 1, and I'm at gate 12 today. So I made 10 gates last week, and then I made a gate last night, and I made a gate this morning. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you what that looks like. And then we're going to look at some of the charts. So share my screen. So this is the gate system. So started at $500. And this is what happens when you focus on only taking the best setups. You start with risking $1 a trade. Once you pass that gate, you up your size to 2. And here's your win as your lot size increases. Then you go to 4, $128 for a win, $60 for a loss. So it's half the loss, or just under half the loss. Now, as we double and then slightly more than double, by gate 10, we're making $100 a point, or $3,200 for 32 pips. So in just 7 trading days, by only taking the best setups, I've gone from $500 to just over $12,000 at gate 12. Now that takes place when you act like a sniper. And I've talked about this before. When you act like a sniper, you are only waiting for that kill shot. And I guess it's a bit coincidental that that's one of the strategies that we're trading, but it's waiting for that absolute best one. So if we would look at today's chart, this is today's chart on the NASDAQ 3-minute chart. What am I looking for? I'm looking for when the MACD line hops above the 0 line. And if I simply just put a circle around when that happens, beautiful run. Now remember, we're wanting to trade these in context of the trend. So if we put on the dynamic edge scanner, we can see we're trading above pink and above purple, which means we're in an uptrend. So in this context, you can see that the trend is obviously up. And so we're wanting only to be taking long positions. And this is the reason why James has only lost 1 trade in the last 8 months or whatever it is, because he only takes the best setups. And, you know, the problem is that we are now accustomed to looking for that signal, looking for the divergence, looking for the signal. And once you know that it works, it gets very easy to think, man, I'll take this because there is a signal. But not all trades and not all signals are created equal. So if you just wait, and this is the way that I trade, and I found it's extremely, with dynamic edge, it's the best strategy I've used. When you wait for those best setups, here's another one here. Here's our 3-minute hopper, crossing the 0 line. Easy 30 pips. Here's another one right here. Bullish hopper. Your entries in there. Another move. Here's another one I got earlier today. 3-minute hopper. Here's your entry. Boom. So you can see by only taking the higher time frame entries, the 3-minute hopper entries, in the context of the dominant trend, you got 4 out of 4. So yes, so what I'll do is I will be watching both the 3-minute and 1-minute chart, and I will be looking more closely at the 3-minute chart. And once we get a signal on a 3-minute hopper, then I'm waiting for the first pullback on the 1-minute chart. And that allows me to get a very, very high reward, high probability trade. Now we can take this back even further, and you will see that it happens over. Here's another hopper late in the New York. Sorry, this was early this morning. That's the one I took early this morning at 6 o'clock, whatever it was. That produced 90 pips, but I only took 30 and I was out. Here's the one at the New York session. Now, if you're trading New York, it's basically free money because there's so much volatility. There's your entry in there. When the MACD hops above the 0 line, you'll have a 1-minute signal there. And look at these moves that you get after the 3-minute hopper takes place. So simply trading the 3-minute hoppers in the context of the dominant uptrend, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6 trades. If you took all of those, if you were awake all through New York. And the same thing happens in a downtrend. You can see over here, we have a downtrend, and let's put in our hoppers in the downtrend. There's our first one there. Now this one it went down and obviously bounced off the level. Now, if we look at James's strategy, there's a number of conditions that help us know when we should exit a trade. Are we trading into a big round number, a 0-0 level? Are we trading into a key level? Those are things that we need to be aware of. Maybe we want to get out a little bit early. So maybe instead of getting 30 pips, we're just going to get 15 pips. But if you just get 2 trades with 15 pips a day, that's a gate. You've moved up a gate. Now, let's go back to my chart. As you can see, I've slowly scaled up my position sizing. I've started small, but it's allowed me to get up to 12,000 very quickly from $500. So notice how I've kept it at $100 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates. Then I've popped up to 200 for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I've doubled my position sizing to $400 for 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, we can move up very, very quickly. Now, if you just make 1 gate a day, that's 32 pips by only taking the best trade. It doesn't take long to get to a gate 20 or a gate 30 where you're looking at serious money. So this is what happens when you learn to discipline yourself to not take every trade, but only take the best trades. And again, this is why James Leone does not lose trading, because he does not take every signal. He makes sure everything is aligned. He makes sure there's confluence with everything. He will only trade in the context of the higher timeframes as well. So that is something that I've been doing since I've used the gate system. I've been using it for longer than last week, but I really wanted to show this is actually possible. So I'm going to keep it going, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I can run it up pretty high, and I can show you the power of what it actually does. I mean, that's enough, right? $500 to $12,000 in 7 trading days. It's a lot. So let's carry on. Here's another hopper here. Now this one here, we would not have taken because we're trading into the level. Sure enough, that would have got stopped out. We then got a push down, but there was no hopper on that. Then we produced divergence at the lows, which is telling us that the trend is turning around. And so now we wait for the 3-minute hopper. There's the 3-minute hopper just in there. Notice that we took a little bit of heat on that trade, but look what happened after that. So even if you got stopped out on this first pullback, once price takes off again, what happens? We get another hopper just there. And look at the size of that run. Your entry is in here somewhere off a 1-minute signal. And sure enough, boom, price explodes to the upside. So we're looking at a move of 130 pips. But hey, just take out a gate. And before, for those of you who don't know me, I used to trade managed funds for clients. So they would invest their money with me and I would trade it and give them a return every week. I was trading currencies back then. And what I discovered was when I took money, when the market just gave it to me on a plate, I would do extremely well consistently, just small chunks every day, bang, 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 bang. There was a time when I decided I'm just going to, swing for the fences and go for a home run. Every time I did that, I would always make much, much, much less, like 50% less than the weeks when I would simply take the winners that were given to me on a silver platter. So what I love about the gate system is it actually teaches you, if you follow it strictly, not to be greedy, but to take that 32 pips. Now, what I do is if I reach a gate a day, and let's say we have another perfect setup that comes, another 3-minute hopper with a nice 1-minute hopper that is agreement with it, then I'll let that run and I'll get out based on the moving average. So for example, if we place some moving averages, not these ones. Now this is just my own thing that I use, but you can use James's moving averages as well, because they work very, 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 very good. The great thing about trading the NASDAQ is that it trends very, very strongly. Okay, so these averages are very, very similar to James's averages. They're simply a different color. So if you look at this second entry here, I stay in the trade. So I've already locked up one gate for the day. If I get a second perfect entry, stay in the trade until those averages cross over. And sorry, these averages are very, very similar to kill shot. Okay, very, very similar to kill shot averages. So stay in the trade until the averages cross over. Now we can apply that to the entries that I marked out a few minutes ago. Let's just remove this line. Here's our entry here. Stay in the trade until the averages cross over. Second one, stay in the trade until the averages cross over. Third one, fourth one, that was a bit of a short one. Fifth one, not so much. But one other thing that's extremely important to be aware of is when the market, I'm just going to remove some of these lines. When the market moves, very, very quickly in a short amount of time, what I've learned is to get out of the market, like take your profit. So for example, we get this big explosion in price here. If you get something like that, 6 or 7 green bars in a row, you have to remember there's millions of people trading this. Now, when they see that, they are people who have bought down the bottom here. And so 100% guaranteed, you are going to have a lot of people taking profit. What happens when people take profit? The market sells off. And so that's when you get this consolidation pattern. So all of this is purely profit taking based on the strong move. So if you get a strong move in one direction, if the market gives you 30 or 40 pips, don't wait for more. Just take it. Because tomorrow, I guarantee you, there will be another opportunity to take another 30 or 40 pips. So here's an example here. The market explodes to the upside. Man, once it produces those big candles, bang, 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 take your profit and run. You know, that's a nice 33 pips. Same thing on the downside. If we look at the move that happens just after it, collapses down. Now, what happens is we look at this in isolation. Actually what it looks like in real time. Man, we've broken these lows. Over here is you are still in the contract and still in the context of a back into the trend. Take your profit and run, because you don't know if all of a sudden the buyers are going to step in and bang, 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 and it just goes straight back up, and then it turns it around. You don't know that. And so the best thing to do is if the market says, Michael, here you go, here's 40 pips, I'll say, thank you very much. That's my day. I can walk out and I can play with my son, or I can have an early breakfast, or I can go back to bed, or I can do whatever I like. I can go for a run. I can go to the gym. So that's the way that I like to trade, because it means I don't feel like I have to keep trading. It means I can actually trade, not for that extended period of time that the market tells me I need to trade, but trade for the amount of time that actually frees up the rest of my day, because that's what trading's all about. It's not about trading as much as you can. I used to trade 15, 16 hours a day, and it almost wrecked me. I used to get up at 1 o'clock every morning and trade till 5 in the morning, and it almost broke me. You can't do it, and you don't have to do it. All you need to do is make those small, incremental, exponential increases in your account every day that over time is going to lead to massive, massive, massive significant account size. It's that 1%. And in fact, there's an amazing book I recommend by Darren Hardy called The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect. And it's about these 1% increases in your performance every single day. And over a year, they result in exponential growth. And you have to apply that sort of thing to your trading. You do not need home runs. You know, I mean, I've known in the past where I've said to my friends, man, I made 200 pips last night and it was amazing. But then I lost for the next 2 or 3 days because I was looking for those same sized big home runs. And then I realized, wait, I don't need to do that. I just need to take out money every day. So my approach is only looking for the best possible signals, and they come on the 3-minute chart, on the 3-minute hopper in the context of the uptrend. And so we can go all the way back. I mean, you can just look at anywhere in trend and you'll find, if you find a big move, you will find a 3-minute hopper at the core of it. Here we go. There's our 3-minute hopper, and there's your entry in there. There's your move. Let's go back a little bit further. The beginning of the previous day. There's your 3-minute hopper. There's your entry. There's your move. On the sell side, we obviously had a rejection up here. Here's your 3-minute hopper in here. There's your move. We bottom out. Here's your 3-minute hopper up here. And this is just a small move. That's okay. Every so often we get small moves. Back here, here's your 3-minute hopper after bullish divergence. There's your entry. Boom, boom, boom. Here's your sell hopper earlier in the day, just in there. And we go all the way down. Let's go back a bit further. Here's your 3-minute hopper after strong divergence on the MACD. Here's your entry in here, and you go up for the rest of the day. Let's just go back a bit further. Here's your 3-minute hopper at the end of the New York session. In here, boom. Let's go right to the very, very top of the day. Oops, let's just go back there. There we go. Here's our hopper at the open. Sorry, this is like 6 o'clock New Zealand time. There's your 3-minute sell hopper. Here's your entry in here, and the market just collapses. So what I've just showed you there is the last, like all of those were successful simply by looking for that 3-minute hopper. Let's go back a bit further. So what I'm doing is I'm making this very, very simple just to show you, if you focus on the MACD hopping above that 0 line, here's the key. That's where the trend begins. The 3-minute hopper above the 0 line, that's where the trend begins. So yes, you absolutely, you can enter on a 1-minute divergence entry here. You can enter on a 1-minute divergence entry there. If you have a signal, absolutely. But remember that once the trend is underway, you're going to have people taking profit. But if you get in at the beginning of the trend, which is the 3-minute hopper, that's where you get everyone starting to get interested in the trade. And that's where you get these quick explosive moves. Okay. And again, we can just go on and on. Here's the 3-minute hopper to the sell side. There's your entry straight down. We can come back to the previous day. Where does the trend start? Well, it starts on the 3-minute hopper right there. In here somewhere. Boom. Okay, so I'm just going to take your questions. There's a couple of things here I've missed. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll send through the gate system on Excel to the chat so everyone can have a look at it. You can adjust the settings however you like. So for example, you can change your stake to whatever you like. I've started at 1, but I recommend starting at 50 cents. So start at 50 cents and then go to $1. Now, if you start with $500, if you lose 5 times in a row, you only lose $35 because it's 5 times, $7.50, which is peanuts. Okay, so it allows you to lose a lot. But as you start to recognize and identify the best setups, then you'll get confident that you know what you're doing, and you can go up to $1, and then go up to $2, and then go up to $4, and your loss or your stop will be just under half the size of your reward for that trade. So I'll put that through on the chat. Yeah, so Selena, yeah, it works. I mean, sometimes there can be, I know a lot of people have found subjectivity on the 1 minute hopper. Sometimes it's hard to know. There's a lot of other stuff. Do I look at different time frames? How do I know what if I have divergence on 2 time frames? But if you just focus on when that 3 minute hopper happens and then go to the 1 minute chart and look for your entry, that allows you to get a very, very good entry with a very, very tight stop on the 1 minute chart in the context of the beginning of the trend. And that's where the magic happens. So anyone have any questions around that? The other thing that I'm briefly going to mention is, remember, when you're trading, context of trend lines is very, very important. So notice that we've had a breakout. This is the 3 minute chart on the NASDAQ. We had a pop up earlier on the London Open. So why did we pop up? Well, because we had a 3 minute hopper. There's the 3 minute hopper. There's your entry. Bang, 30 pips, easy. You're finished. You're out for the day. Why did price stop there? Because it's nowhere near a 0-0 figure. And we didn't even get to the high. So why did price stop right there? How could we know to exit our long trade from this circle to this circle? Well, if we zoom out, we always have to be aware of the swing highs around us. So if we look back to 2 days ago, this is the open. Okay, this is the open from yesterday. What we do is we take a trend line from that point, we draw it to the next swing high, this point, and we extrapolate it out, and look where our move stops, right on the trend line. So when you look back to the left and you draw trend lines from the highest point to the highest point, or the lowest point to the lowest point, that is a very, very strong indication of where price is going to pause or stop. And it gives you great confidence to exit a trade. And so my trade, I got out right at the top there because we were bouncing off the trend line. And what else? We had divergence on the MACD. So there's a divergence on our hopper. There's a divergence. 2 great reasons to get out. And again, we can look at this trend line across the board. Here's a swing low. We can draw it to this swing low, extrapolate it into the future. Now we know that, let's just remove this. We know that at this point, the future hasn't occurred. All we know is that we have 2 swing lows, which is 2 areas where price has been rejected from. We extrapolate that line to the future. What happens? Price comes out, bounces off that trend line and rejects. So if you were short anywhere in here and you were trading it down, that's a great place to exit. So it's so important to look to your left, look back into the past, because as it is in every part of life, we can learn a lot from the past. We don't live in the past, but we can utilize the past to help create an efficient and productive future. So what we do is we look back at price historically in the previous day, and that can help us know when to exit a trade or maybe when to enter a trade. Okay, I'm just going to answer these questions here. Yeah, Andrew. So I look for a 3 minute hopper, and as much as I can, I will look for a 1 minute signal within 6 minutes of that 3 minute hopper. So 2 3 minute bars. So the first 1 minute pullback in the context of the trend. Yeah, so yeah, it's a game changer call, but it makes it very, very simple. So I consider a tight stop, Steve-O. Look, the stop for a gate is 15 pips before you move back a gate. That's a great way to manage it. But you don't want your stop to be too tight. Now, the great thing about trading the 3 minute hopper is that often price moves into your favor very, very quickly. So you can move your stop up very quickly, and often price just takes it away. So 5 and 6 pips is too tight. Like even when the NASDAQ is not trading at the highest point of the day, you know, it's hard sometimes to get, sometimes it's hard to get less than 8 pips. But if you can get a 7-8 pip stop, that's pretty good. And then once price moves in your favor, just dial in the tightness of that stop as quickly as you can. And again, if your trade is correct, when the 3-minute hopper takes off, it moves very, very fast. So you can be up, like all of you guys will know if you've been trading the NASDAQ, you can be up 15, 30 pips in a matter of 5 minutes, you know, and so just trail up your stop. And that's why I like taking out very, very quickly, 30 pips. Awesome stuff, Mario. Yeah, short in the NAS. So it moves so quickly. And so getting the confluence of those two timeframes, incredible. So Mario, the EMAs that I'm using, this is, where is it? These are my exit EMAs I use. And I have them on a different screen because it makes it a lot clearer. As you can see, if I just remove these lines, if you just look at that, it's very, very easy to see that there is separation in these EMAs all the way to here. You can see that there's a nice gap between them. It's very, very easy to see. And I simply have the yellow one on just to give me context of the higher time frame. So these EMAs are a 10, a 20, and I think it's a 50. Yeah, a 10, a 20, and a 50. So I use these to exit on a 3-minute chart. But if we dial down to a 1-minute chart, the exit is the same. See, look, here's our 1-minute hopper that happened earlier today with the 3-minute hopper. So there's your 1-minute hopper. It happened at exactly the same time as the 3-minute hopper. And sure enough, this is London Open. The cross below the moving averages was over here. And so you're dialing in a nice 20 pips or so. So it works very, very well on the 1-minute, 3-minute chart. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there tonight for guys, but that is the only thing I trade every day. It's the 3-minute hopper. It's keeping an eye on a divergence. It's looking for those confluence of trend lines. It's looking for support and resistance, and it's looking to trade off the big figures and be a sniper. Only take the best trades. Have patience to wait. I mean, earlier today, there was a great trade, but I was like, no. I've made my gate for the day. I can trade tomorrow morning because I know there will be another amazing trade tomorrow. And I'll keep saying this for as long as you guys let me. The trade of a lifetime happens about once every week. The trade of a lifetime happens about once every week. But I guarantee you, if you are patient, you will have an amazing trade opportunity every day. And that's all you need. You only need one. You only need 1% a day or 2% a day. That's all you need. And you know, if you have a lot of capital to begin with, that's definitely all you need. If you're trading with, you know, $250,000, then you can make $2.5 a day on 1%, or you can make 1% a week, $2.5 a week. A lot of people can live off that. If you have less than that, hey, just keep plugging away, because I guarantee you, if you keep plugging with that boring 1% a day, as Ty said, over a year, that 1% is going exponential, and it's going to turn into more than you can ever imagine. So last few things here. Yeah, awesome, Zeph. Great to have you. Keep studying, keep doing it. You guys are going to do it. I've talked to a lot of you. You're doing it. You're seeing it. Yes, there's a couple of barriers you have to overcome, but don't give up, because I guarantee you're going to get there. All right, Ty, I'll give it back to you, and you can share what you have next with us. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Man, thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, there was so much gold in there. Like, I got notes, as always. I hope you did as well. And yeah, going to be reviewing that. But guys, the simplicity of that, like just what I said in the beginning again, like clearly defining what your goal is, aiming for, whether it be 30 or 32 pips, or it's whatever percentage, knowing what it is, so that, look, the amount of times I've had this conversation with myself and other people of it runs into profit, and it's if it's your 1%, or if you know what your goal is, close the trade. The amount of time, or lift that stop, and whatever, but it's the amount of times, how often, like I'm sure you guys all agree, because I've had this conversation with many of you, it runs up and I think it's going to keep going because I see the number, and then sure enough it pulls back and you're stopped out either for break even or whatever. It's just, yeah, it happens, right? So become professional trade closers. That's the trick. Know what your 1% is, or know what your goal is for the day, and the sooner you see it, close it. If you do have that feeling like, oh, what if it goes higher? Figure out how to, it's not hard, close off 80%, 90% of that trade. And so you can just leave a little piece in there if you really want to, that you're okay with. Like if you're trading with a full lot, close off like 0.8 or 0.9, whatever it looks like, and then let the rest of it go. If you or at least lift that stop up, but then, you know, you get the picture. But Mike, so appreciate you. That was absolute gold, man. Like, guys, if you just take that to heart, aiming to be the sniper, not the machine gun, and look for those 3-minute hoppers with the 1-minute hopper in the context of a 6-minute window, absolute gold. Who else just feels like going to trade right now, right? After that. But yeah, guys, we'll leave it there. 8:39, still plenty of time for you guys to jump on the charts and trade this evening, or go and catch up on some videos if you like. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Let me know if any of you guys currently don't have Kill Shot and you would like access to that. I've updated the spreadsheet, chatted with Jay today. He said he was going to update that today. So if you got an active subscription, send me your TradingView name and just a screenshot of your subscription looking active. If you go to that main IEM.academy page again that I showed first off, your back office page, if you roll down to the bottom and look on the right hand side, underneath right now it looks like the Rotterdam IM event. Beneath that you're going to see something that says account. It's going to say your ID number, your username, and it'll say they're active and your next billing date. So all I need is a screenshot of that and your TradingView name, and I can send that to Jay and he'll send you Kill Shot. Yeah, guys, otherwise that's pretty much it. Let me see if I got disconnected in the middle of the Zoom, so I don't even know if I'm the host anymore. I might be. There we go. I think I've still got some power. Cool stuff, guys. Well, bless you guys with that. Have an incredible rest of your evening. It's only Tuesday, so still plenty of time this evening and tomorrow on the charts. Thursday morning we'll have another team Zoom, trading together 5 to 7 a.m. and keep hitting it, guys. For those of you who know, if you have dived into the Kill Shot stuff, you would have seen, let me know, there was a Google Doc I put together which has the links to Jay's videos that explain Kill Shot. Also, there's a link in there to a PDF he put together, which is brilliant, and a link to their Telegram team chat, the Wealth Warriors. Guys, Jay has about 700 people in his team, and he has about 400 show up on his Zooms that he runs on the New York Open. So if you want to get crazy and jump on those, you can. Jay is running his strategy call still at New York Open. I believe Tycho runs it at, I believe, our 5 p.m., 4:35 p.m. And so inside that Telegram chat, you're going to see those Zooms links. So as long as you're active, guys, those Zooms are for us. Like, you're welcome to dive into them. Yeah, Jay's definitely does an awesome favor. Like, we're not necessarily in Jay's team, but we're all in one team. So fun how he's, just opening that all up for us until he gets onto Go Live, which believing is going to be soon. Anyways, I'll leave you with that, guys. Have an incredible rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys in the chat. All right. Good evening, guys. Catch you later. Bye.